Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. You catch me in the beautiful, picturesque Georgian town of Bewdley in Worcestershire. I'm southwest of Birmingham at the moment, a few miles away from home, and I thought I would come out here today, just have a bit of a wander around. I have been once before, but I didn't really spend very much time here then. Didn't get to see very much, so I've come back really just to have a look at the place. There's an interesting composition just behind me of the bridge over the River Severn just here, but I'll tell you a little bit more about the River Severn and the town of Bewdley in just a few moments. First of all, I'm going to see if I can take this shot. So I've come out to the Elizabethan Gardens here, or should I say the Jubilee Gardens here in Bewdley. Elizabeth II Jubilee, that is. And I found a little spot here just behind me. There's this beautiful wooden pergola with a lot of flowers in the middle of it, and behind it there's a beautiful tree. I'm not exactly sure what tree that is, but if I get close up enough to this wooden pergola, there's a spot where the pergola itself frames the base of that tree quite well. So I think I'm going to take that shot as well. But before I do, just a couple of things to let you know. If my voice sounds a little bit hoarse, and I sound a little bit bunged up by the way, because I am. I've had a cold for just over a week now, and I've been trying to get rid of it, but it seems to be sticking around for a little bit longer than I'd hoped. Anyway, I'm going to try and take this photo, but also I was going to mention to you about the River Severn here in Bewdley. I'll tell you more about that after this photo. So the River Severn here in this particular part of Worcestershire is very prone to bursting its banks, and that happens quite a lot when we have heavy rain. But it's been happening more and more often, more and more regularly in the last few years. So much so that the town have decided to install flood defences along the side of the river. Now those flood defences were initially only temporary, but I think they've decided to make them more permanent now. So the town has got more protection from the elements, but it still floods, and if I'd have been here a few weeks ago, I don't think I could have stood here, to be quite honest with you, because I think it would have been flooded. But it's quite an interesting place. I'm going to have a bit of a wander around for a couple of hours and see if I can find anything interesting to photograph while I'm here. So this here is a community orchard right here in the Jubilee Gardens. It's a wonderful little spot, and I've photographed this place before, but I'm particularly drawn to this fella behind me. Like I said, it is an orchard, and that there is a wooden carving of an apple core. So I've just taken a photo of that, portrait orientation, focused on the apple core itself, f4, 1/500th of a second, ISO 200. Hope you like that image. Now, I don't really know how to explain this one here, this structure behind me. Some sort of steel or iron sculpture or statue of some kind. So obviously I'm going to stop here and take a photo of this. I think I did photograph it the last time I was here, but I can't remember for sure. And I seem to remember, thinking back now, that I wasn't sure what kind of composition it needed. So I'm going to have a think about this one and take this photo. Actually, I don't think that thing is iron or steel, to be honest with you. I think it might be aluminium, or for those of you of North American persuasion, aluminum. But whatever it is, it's not been weathered at all by the elements. Obviously standing outside, I would expect it would have been. So it must have been protected by something, and there may be some sort of protective paint painted over the surface of it. But it's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to head off now towards the museum. I had to walk through the museum to get to the Bewdley Gardens earlier, so I'm going to head back that way and see if there's anything interesting in the museum itself. So this is the Bewdley Town lockup, as according to these signs here behind me. Quite sparse. There's nothing in here really, just a wooden bench on top of basically a stone seat, and that's where you would have to stay overnight if you were locked up here. Nothing particularly special, but quite interesting anyway. There's an air raid shelter just over in that direction that I'm going to go and have a look at as well now. But I had to stop and take a photo of this. So the air raid shelter is just behind me, but it's currently locked up. Obviously nobody can get in there, so thankfully there's no war on at the moment. Otherwise you might have to open that place up and let me in. Interesting though, isn't it? This is a water wheel and pump that's still working by the looks of things. Didn't think I was going to see this either. It's all very interesting around here. I don't know why all of this stuff is here, but I really quite like it.
Truly right. We'll never do it again. We'd rather stop and go back in those cells. Hello, I'm Thomas Titley. I'm really ashamed of what I've done, but as everyone knows about it, I may as well tell you too. I was so excited when I left school and got a job working for Mr. Henry Green of Grey Green. I got me a room. I got to milk the cows. Mr. Green trusted me so much he let me do the milk round. I took the money and ticked off the names of people who were paid. I always collected the right money and was never...
Well, this place certainly brings back memories. There's a little room here in the museum with a 1980s exhibition going on. All sorts of things from the 1980s, like the pinball machine behind me. And as I move around here, you'll notice all the film posters on the walls are all 1980s films. And then you've got a 1980s bike here. Some ghetto blasters, anybody remember those from the 80s? And even on this little television here in the corner, we've got Duran playing in the background. And as I move around a little bit further, we've got the old VHS videotapes. Some of them may even be Betamax, which was even before VHS. And then just around here, we've got a cabinet here with a load of interesting sweets in it. There's things like marathon bars and opal fruits and things like that. And breakaway and sherbet dips. Those really do bring back memories, they do. And then there's things like Atari and Nintendo games consoles down here in this cabinet here. There's an old Atari just there. They're very interesting. The Sinclair ZX Spectrum as well. I don't know if any of you remember those. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It's weird, but I'm enjoying it. So I've come back down by the river. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot going on around here, other than a few bars and restaurants and cafes. Once you get out of the museum and the Bewdley Gardens, there's not really an awful lot to see and do here, apart from obviously the bridge that I'm just standing near to at the moment. There's a lot of people outside the cafes and so on, and just down the road here there's a couple playing a violin and banging a drum. which is quite interesting. Nice music. I obviously know the tunes, so I'll see if I can capture a little bit of a shot of them as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave it here. Hope you've enjoyed the vlog. Hope you've enjoyed the images and the trip down memory lane for some of us. And I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.